Hi, welcome everyone. I'm Glenda Dawson and I have Sarah Garcia, Moon Girl, with me, and we are the Paranormal Dolls. We are on the Glenda's Magical Creations channel on the Conscious Awakening Network, and we are on Roku TV, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and so many other streaming platforms, whether it's TV or just radio. So, hi, Sarah. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you?
Great, great. Beautiful day we're having here. We actually have had 80 for the high today.
Nice.
It's
You
sunny and it's
guys.
kind of breezy, so it's like a perfect beach weather. Too bad I didn't go to the beach, but that's okay. But
That's all we thought here.
yeah, it's all right.
Always.
I'll be there soon enough. No worry. But I don't like to go on holiday around holiday weekends or holidays
Oh yeah,
because
it gets
it can,
hot.
yeah,
So packed everywhere. You can't really enjoy it.
no, because there is no breeze anymore. There are too
Yeah.
many people, the breeze just keeps bumping into bodies and all that. So um today we decided to talk about our um galactic experiences, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Aliens. I don't know if they want to be called aliens, but they're definitely galactic. Out of this world. How's that?
Yes, love it.
So, do you want to start with one of your experiences? I mean, I'm
Sure.
yeah.
I've had several experiences before, but they weren't hardcore. There was like lights in the skies, this or that, maybe lost of time. I'll get back into that later. But the one that really blew my mind that I have never, to at least my knowledge, ever experienced. I don't know, like as a child, maybe something, I don't know, but at least as an adult, I've
Mhm.
acknowledged this is the first time this has ever happened. And it was a pretty crazy one. I was sleeping already. It was probably like around 11ish or something like that. I have two sons and they sleep right across each other. And then there's a hall and then there's my room. And I had the door open. So I was asleep and everyone was asleep. But I hear a cranky noise down the hall. It's just and it woke me up. I hear it from a distance and I'm like, what is that? So I'm assuming it's one of my boys playing with something, woke up
Mhm.
playing. So I tried to like not pay attention. I'm like, all right, they'll just go back, back to bed in a bit, whatever. So again, still laying there with my eyes closed this whole time. Then I hear it getting louder and louder and louder going down the hall. And I was like, by then I was like, what the hell are these kids doing? They know they have to go to school. I'm all like, but
Normal parent.
I'm still too tired and lazy to get up and, yell at them and yeah, go to bed. I'm trying to ignore it because I'm dead tired.
Right.
I'm like, whatever. You're gonna have to wake up early anyways, kids. So that's on you. And then whatever. You need to sleep. Whatever. Mama needs to sleep. So and like it keeps going. I hearing it going louder and louder and getting closer and closer. And by then I'm like so annoyed. And then I hear it getting really, really loud. And I know for a fact now it's by my door. It was
Ooh.
by then I was like, oh heck no. I was about to open my eyes and be like, fine, I'm not getting sleep. I'm gonna go over there and take that toy away, whatever it is from
Right.
them. When that happened, I was frozen. I couldn't move my eyes. I couldn't even open my eyes.
Mm.
It couldn't move whatsoever. And before it was at the foot of I'm sorry, at my door, I
Right.
could still kind of move. My eyes were closed, but I didn't want to open them, but I could still
Right.
kind of move in the bed and stuff.
Right.
I It was very much like sleep paralysis. And I experienced sleep paralysis since I was a little kid, a
Mhm.
child. I know what sleep paralysis is, but this was like sleep paralysis, but different in a sense. Because when you have sleep paralysis, I guess the goal is to kind of frighten you or, you have something on you, something. spirit or demonic or whatever you want to, shadow people, whatever everybody has something different that
Right,
goes
right.
with sleep paralysis. So that's in my experience whenever I have sleep paralysis. Um, this was not the same. So I can't move. I can't
Mhm,
open my eyes whatsoever.
mhm,
So I'm a little panicky now. And I'm like, what's going on? Then I hear this thing getting louder and louder. And now it's at the foot of my bed.
mm,
And I can't move. And I'm like, what is going on here? I'm trying not to panic, you know, but obviously, your psyche goes to like, oh my God, I can't move. And there's something here.
uh-huh,
I don't know what it is. And are my kids okay? Because I don't know what happened. It came from the hall where my
mm,
sons were.
mm,
So if it did this to me, and I'm a psychic medium and I'm an adult, what I have a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old. What did it do? So that's the first thing that really kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm panicking because I don't know if they're okay, is what's going to happen. Then this thing gets on my bed. It
mm.
gets on my bed. I even feel the bed kind of like, like you feel it
When
kind
you
of going
said
down
so,
a little
yep.
bit. Yeah, I'm a single mom. I sleep alone. Thank God. I don't like sharing my bed. Oh, been there, done that. I like my space, Aquarius.
There you go. Uh,
Yes, exactly. So first off, like, how dare you invade my privacy?
mhm,
No, no, but I was kind of like, okay, all jokes aside, I was like, I was a little freaking out because I can't move, and this thing is now on my bed. So it was my imagination or anything, because remember, I was awakened. I still have my eyes closed because I chose to keep them closed because I didn't want to fully wake myself up and lose sleep.
right.
So I'm up. I just can't move. So I'm kind of panic. And this thing, whatever it was, it telepathically shot, and it wasn't like talking. It wasn't anything like that. It was telepathically shooting a feeling at me. It
Hmm,
was, that's how I can describe it. It was a feeling. It wasn't even like calm down, you hear a voice in your head. No, this was a feeling of calmness being shot at me.
hmm,
That's the only way I could describe it. I know other people have said, oh, it telepathically spoke to you, you heard voices. No, that's not what I got. I got a feeling shot at me because I was freaking out. I was panicking. And then this, whatever it was trying to soothe me and calm me. And it kind of did, but I'm a stubborn mother trucker, and I was like, hell no. I was still kind of like, not even an alien can keep me down, okay? Like, I was up against anybody from this world or other
other worlds.
world. No, but I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is on my bed. I can't move. And I feel that I am aware. It's not that I'm not aware. I'm aware that it's shooting this calmness feeling to kind of get my guard down. And granted, it started working a bit, but then I would still kind of fight it, like, no, 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 something's happening to me. Like, brain, look, acknowledge something's happening here. But then I would get little pieces of calm, and I'm like, nah, like, kind of, I'm stubborn. I was pooping bricks, okay, yeah. But then this thing would shoot the good feeling. I
Mhm.
mean, for all I know, it was drugging me, and I'm like, it's a feeling. Like,
You're getting the wave.
yeah, yeah. And then, and mind you, I was covered when I was asleep.
Right.
I had the blanket on me. This thing uncovers me, Glenda. I don't
Mm.
know how it did it. It uncovered me, and I'm like, oh my God. So the first thing, I know it's comical, but I'm like, please do not probe me, for the love of God. No probing. You didn't even invite me for dinner first. Nothing. No. No probing permitted. Which I was screaming that in my head. I was like, you
Right.
better not. I will find a way to get you and probe you back. Okay, not this one, not I, sir. No, but seriously, I make a joke of this, but because of course you have to laugh about this, but I was really scared of, at the time because I couldn't move, and this thing was able to pull the covers off me.
Mhm.
When I had sleep paralysis before, the thing had never pulled any covers off me. I felt it on me. I felt fear. I was scared. You know, I saw visions, but this time they actually pulled the covers off. So I already knew from the beginning it was different than sleep paralysis, but it was very much alike
Right.
at the same time. Um, so I'm kind of scared that this thing took my blanket off. I'm like, oh gosh, okay. And even though the lights were off in my room, even though my eyes were closed, you could still see if like there's a light, like you feel the light, it's
Mhm.
light.
Hmm.
And I could feel the brightness even though my eyes are closed. And it starts going from my feet, it starts going up and up and up and towards my legs. Then it gets a little bit closer. And, as a medium, like I said, and you know this too, um, we can feel people's feelings, emotions,
Right.
even if it's like when we go in investigations, it's a spirit or something demonic or anything, you can still feel something, or
Mhm.
it's hatred, it's anger, or whatever it has. If it's a spirit, maybe longing, whatever you feel. I tried my hardest to like break into whatever, I don't know what is kind of like a cage they have, or I don't even want to say cage. It's like I couldn't penetrate this thing's feeling.
Right. Right.
There was no way. So
Hmm.
I was trying so hard. It was like hitting a brick wall. I couldn't I tried to be sneaking, kind of sneak around. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, the wall didn't keep me. It's not going to keep me here either. We'll find a way. We're crafty, my people. We'll go underneath. Not just kidding. We can't go up the wall. We'll go underneath the wall. But we'll go. The wall will not keep us. But Viva Mexico. Anyways, shout out to my people, my Latinos. Mama loves you. Love to support you guys. But no, with the damn aliens, I tried to be sneaky and
Well, not for nothing, but I think they're a little more
yeah,
advanced than
well,
we are. Just a little.
but I'm stubborn and I tried. I had to try. I couldn't like, not. I would have to tell myself, look, I tried. Okay, if it didn't work, that's fine. But I tried. But no, it was like trying to break through that brick wall and penetrate an emotion or feeling that I was to just kind of feel its feelings, I guess.
Mhm.
But to no avail. I could not. It's like trying to feel the feelings of a truck, a car, whatever. You can't, like a brick wall. You
Yeah.
cannot feel what a car feels. You cannot feel what a brick wall feels.
Right.
But I tried my freaking hardest, and I was like in my head, if there's anybody going to penetrate this damn wall, it's gonna be me. And I, uh,
I can just imagine this conversation in your head too.
yes,
Whoa, my goodness.
it was crazy there. Like imagine like a lot of moon girls talking to each other. Like, look, we're gonna figure something out before the alien starts, probing us. We need to hurry up, go under that wall, go over the bridge. I don't care what
Go
you're
around,
doing,
whatever you gotta do.
whatever, moon girl. Let's do this. And I guess I do talk to myself because I'm crazy. But
No, no, the smartest people talk to themselves.
of
I
course,
do it
of
all
course.
the time.
Uh, but life path number 7, yes, smart. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I tried my hardest to like I said, kind of feel the emotions of whatever this thing was, and I couldn't at all. It was very hard for I couldn't. But what I did get, because I'm sneaky. I'm sneaky, Linda. I told you, if there's gonna be somebody who finds a loophole or a way, it's gonna be me.
Mhm.
This thing didn't want me to see it,
Right.
and if I couldn't feel the feeling of it, I was going to at least see something or get a vision.
Right.
So I so me and the other moon girls from other universes band together. No, and I did get glimpses, like really fast visions of something mechanical. It
Mhm.
looked like a little machine,
Hmm.
like really fast glimpses.
Right.
Like it was really hard to get through whatever this those beings, whatever aliens you want to call it. It's impossible. I'm sorry. Like we cannot win with whatever this is. Like there's no way. There's like we would be fools to try. Of course, I would be that fool because you know your girl's not gonna go down without a fight. Like if I'm gonna die, we all gonna die. Haley, we're gonna go.
Yeah. What's one more lifetime, right?
Right, one more.
we'll, we'll go one
I'm
more.
done. I've had enough, Glenda. I'm over it. You want to go back? That's on you, girl. I'm done. See you somewhere else, not here. But no, I started getting little glimpses of a little machine.
Hmm.
And all I can describe it as is like when we go to like Mars and that little machine they send to excavate,
Right.
pick up things. That's kind of like the
The
impression I
probe.
was getting. And I was getting like little visions of a little box metal machine.
Mhm.
Um, and I was trying my hardest to kind of just feel something, whatever, and again, being a spiritual person, trying to call in like spirit guides in my head and stuff,
Right.
and and ancestors and stuff. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Glenda, they couldn't help. I mean, it was like nothing can. This thing is a higher power being than anything else.
Mhm.
So I could see why you know aliens would consider themselves gods in a sense. Like if like, but there's been like cave drawings or whatever, and and people, like the Egyptians, they would consider them gods, and so
Right.
I could see why, because that's insane, the amount of power. Like it.
Well, they're advanced
Uh,
by a
okay,
lot.
to say the least, to say the least.
And um, they have all their gifts fully developed and using them, unlike us. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well,
it's so interesting.
it was crazy because I mean I tried to call in protection, and as we do when we go do investigations, if we think something's getting a little bit crazy, we try to call in protection.
Mhm.
Guys, guardian, whatever you want to call it, your
Right.
people, your
Yeah.
spirit team, your ancestors, man. To no avail. Basically, it was kind of like they're on the outskirts of whatever this is. Like if they're like if there's like a dome, around, and they can't like as much as they want to, because they're stubborn mother truckers too. I mean, they're Latinos too. So they're stubborn too. You can imagine my grandma with a chancla. No, nothing, nothing. The mighty chancla didn't win this time.
Yeah, yeah, no, no.
So yeah.
So how did you get out of it? Did you just fall asleep and wake up the next day or
No, this thing still kept going. It's going higher and higher. By then, it starts to try to shoot to my face because I feel the light getting brighter and brighter. Again, my eyes
was
are closed, I can't. So when it starts going to my face, I had full on panic. I'm like, hell no, not the face, not the money maker. That's all I got. Like, not the face. And I really, I'm just kidding, guys. Okay, but that's when I really fought all I had, like
right.
all I had, and I don't know how the hell I broke through that. And I just completely fought. And again, it keeps shooting this calming feeling at me. And I'm like, no, I'm not. You're getting to my face. There's no way in heck I'm going to be calm. Like, no, like, good luck. You got the wrong one. You need to go with someone passive. This is not, like, not me. So I'm fighting really, and then boom, I'm able to like break free and open my eyes, and that thing was gone. So I didn't get to get physically to see it with my eyes open.
Right.
Like I said, with my like in my mind, I kept seeing visions. So I didn't see green little men, how people say they did, and I'm sure there is, but this is not my experience. Was not that. It wasn't the grays. It wasn't anything like that. It was literally like a little, again, with my eyes closed and my visions, a little machine, like it just all I could describe it as something that's mechanical. It has to
Right.
be mechanical, whatever it was. So my experience with that was whatever this was, either one, the aliens might have sent this thing to just kind of scan me, check me out,
Mhm.
or if that's not the case, this is a form of an alien that you can't. I mean, those are the only two things that I can come up with.
I got
Um,
the answer for you.
okay, go for it.
It's they do send out probing machines to
Yeah,
scan
I'm told
you
that.
because they have kept an eye on you since you were born.
So you've been
And
telling me
they
this is probing me since I was born. That's fucked. Sorry, that's
well,
messed up.
not probing you, scanning you to see how you change, because they don't change the
Yeah.
same way we do. This is very unique to them. This body that we go through and all the sensations and all the changes we go through from childhood to adulthood, they don't go through that. And they also wanted to see if you were compatible to probably,
An
have
alien boyfriend?
babies with them, huh?
So you're saying I have an alien boyfriend somewhere?
You might. I don't know. I can't say for sure, but seriously, there are a lot of hybrids in this world.
There-
People who have the alien DNA or the galactic DNA, and a lot of people do. I know a couple of women who have experienced an almost similar thing and
Mhm.
have seen their hybrid children.
Yeah, I've heard stories about it. I've never
Yeah.
met anybody, but I definitely heard stories.
Right. So I have met people. So that's probably what they were just scanning to see the difference in the body,
Well,
or
this is the wrong
need a
person.
healing.
I'm
What to
not
do?
gonna have babies.
Well, I have been. I could tell you at least two or three things. I mean, a lot has happened, but
Yeah.
one that I can remember is going on a ship, and one of the times I was really, really sick, and I was on a stretcher, and it looked like a hospital
Mhm.
with like windows all around, observer like students observing what was going on, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I had all different types of galactic doctors of different races. Maybe that's the best way
Yeah.
I could explain it.
Yeah.
And they were healing. They were doing that scanning thing
Uh-huh.
with those little machines like this.
Oh, I see.
And the little machine is
Uh-huh.
there. This little machine though kind of can float, which is probably how they got up to your bed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's I would say about 6 inches, 7 inches tall, and it floats, and then it literally like a copy machine or a scanner. You know how you see
Mhm.
the, zzz, and
Yeah.
they know exactly then where to go and what to heal.
Oh, okay.
So the first time I had breast cancer, that's what happened. That's one of the ways it happened.
Oh, wow.
And when I went to the day of surgery, they couldn't find the cancer. They couldn't even
Okay.
find the indentation that the cancer had made.
That's crazy.
So, um, but scary, yes. Fighting all the way, just like you. Because I'm like, nope, 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 nope. You're not taking me. You're not taking me. And poof, there I am. And it was like, yeah, okay. Well, you can cry or you want. You can yell or you want, but it's not happening. Um, and all of a sudden, I'm just there. I'm like, the frick, where am I? And I'm like, my head down. I'm seeing all this stuff, and I'm like, ooh. And then they did send that coming wave of energy that you were talking about.
Yeah.
It's like people say, okay, like with you, oh, you probably felt, heard them say to comment on that. No, you just feel the wave of energy, kind
Yeah.
of
I
like when
can
I
feel.
Yeah, kind of like when I do Reiki to somebody, it's
Yeah.
that same type of feeling. It's just energy. So it
Yeah, it
was,
wasn't easy because there was no words. And
no,
like I said, I've heard people say, "Oh, they heard, words or, in their,
right,
telepathically," but no, there was no words whatsoever. It was just like you said, like a wave of calming energy. Yeah,
right.
it's a good way how you said it because not like Reiki. Yeah, it's kind of like it
Yeah,
was,
because Reiki, you should send the
yeah,
energy out. So it's kind of like that. And it's like, when I was up there, I was like, okay, I'm calm. I'm calm. Oh my God. No, that's scary. I'm not calm anymore.
yeah,
Because there are different types, races, I guess, for some look a little scary. And, to our 3D standards, it's like a
yeah,
horror movie scene.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I love scary movies, but like I'm not down with getting the probation there. But apparently I've been getting probed all my life.
You've been
Never even
getting
got a date out
scanned,
of it or anything.
scanned. You haven't been getting probed. You have been getting scanned. Probing, I don't know nothing about that, but I do know the scanning, that's what they do. That they have
Yeah.
explained that to me. That they
Um,
come when they start watching you when you were born, and they see the progression
yeah.
of humans because they don't go through that anymore. They're just exist. They hardly have children anymore, or make more of them anymore. And that's why they need human women sometimes.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
it was definitely an experience. Um, I've had other little things, but they weren't anything like this. Like there's this park I like to go to walk to.
Mm-hmm.
Take my sons with me, and it was daytime. There was other people walking, nothing crazy. And I noticed these lights in the sky, and they were like a pastel pink orange color.
Hmm.
And I saw that they were in the sky, and I'm like, what is that? Because I didn't see a plane, I didn't see anything. It was just a light. Then I saw it shooting, zigzagging really fast. There's no plane that does that. Well, I'm sure the government has, secret ones, but
Right.
they're not here in public. All right.
Right.
Like, let's be real. So I was like, what in the world? And I was like, wait, I'm seeing things. So I asked the kids, I'm like, are you seeing this? They're like, yeah, what is it? And then I even asked, like, like people just jogging. I'm like, hey, wait, sir, do you see those lights? Do you know what those lights are? Like, I'm just grabbing people. So I know for sure I'm not just seeing things, and I'm like, well, we have no idea what that is. So then after it was zigzagging again, then it just shoots all the way up, never comes back down. So I'm still there walking in circles, it's a trail, never came back.
Hmm.
Never came back. Um, so I've seen like stuff like that, but that park's really, there's something really special about that park.
Hmm.
Um, Sometimes when I go walking to that park towards the back, and I'm like, there's back part, I have my phone with me. I'm
Mhm.
listening to like music, and I'm on YouTube. So I like
Right.
looking at the video while I'm walking and, just hearing the music. The volume starts going all the way down. Like if so, you have to press a button.
Right.
Then I'm like pushing it up, fighting. I'm like, I want to hear my music. This thing pushes it all the way down again. And it's like the back and forth. And then it changes my music. You have to like click buttons. It doesn't, and it keeps changing and changing and changing. And I'm like, there was nothing wrong with the phone, mind you. It was
Right.
perfectly fine.
Right.
Then I hear like, it almost sounds like a radio. I can't make out what it's saying, but it's saying something. Like kind of thing. And there's no reason for that because I'm listening to a YouTube music video.
Right. Mm.
And then check this out. There's times where I'm just walking and it feels like this thing, something, just rips the phone out of my hand and throws it on the floor. It just like if
Doesn't like your music, obviously.
I guess not. I guess I have bad taste. Sorry. But yeah, it's happened so many times that it literally like it feels like someone just ripped the phone, and I'm like, you know, um, so that's a really
Uh,
crazy park there. There's been
I
some weird.
wonder if there's some type of a portal there.
Well, I believe so because sometimes, and I shouldn't do this, but I would go walking really late alone because that's the time I was able to go. Sometimes there's nobody at the park. But don't try anything because I take protection, guys. I don't even try. For
Eh,
whoever's doing that, I don't even try.
that's it. But us little ones always know what
Yes.
to do.
Um, and this, by the way, the first alien experience that we talked about, that happened last year. So that
Mm,
was nothing like, oh my God, when I was a kid or whatever. No,
no,
that was
no.
literally like, and I
That's
talked to you about this. I,
yes,
when it
yes.
happened, I called you and say, oh my God, guess what happened to me?
Uh-huh.
So now we're talking about it. But
What are we
this
talking about?
incident, this one that I'm about to tell you, this happened, I believe it was in 2021.
Okay.
So again, it's really late. I'm walking, and it you know when you hear somebody like chasing, like they're gonna chase you, and
Mm-hmm.
you turn around real quick, like if someone's behind you. Yeah, that
Okay.
happened. I was like, I was already like, I will have my earbuds, but like I'm smart. I'll have one out and
Yeah.
to pretend
Yeah.
pretend that I can't hear. Like, yeah, right. I know what's up. Look, just in case, like
We all have to be
so
careful.
heard the I turn around thinking, oh my gosh, someone's gonna like try to do something to me. No one's there. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, maybe I'm just my mind or whatever. I keep walking. Again, the same thing happens again.
Mm,
And happened several times. Anyways, this particular night, I'm walking and walking and walking, and there's a pavilion up ahead. Um, I'm still just walking, but then something told me turn around, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna turn around. And oh my God, I've never in my life seen this. There was literally a ball of fire floating above my head. It was still high, not super high though. Like if I jumped and like smacked, I could have. That's how low it was. It was higher
so
than me. But
you had an orb following you.
no, no, no. I don't think it was. I don't know. It was literally a big ball, a physical ball, and it
Okay.
had fire on it. And I was
Oh,
like in shock because my mind couldn't comprehend what this is.
right.
I was like, am I literally seeing a ball with fire hovering over my head? I couldn't even, my mind couldn't process that. So then, I tried to like take a picture, but I'm like, I couldn't, I was just like, I've never seen that. And then this thing falls into the pavilion. When it fell in the pavilion, there's ducks there, there's fish there. The ducks jumped all out. And I started seeing fishes on the side, fish on the side, like the rim of the
Right.
little thing. And I was like, what was that? So of course I really wanted to go get it, but I'm not gonna touch it because I don't know what the heck it is. I'm all thinking like, some kind of alien disease, and then last thing we need is another crazy virus. So I was like, hell no, I'm not touching that. But I wanted it. I don't want to be the cause of like another pandemic. It all started when one girl jumped into the pavilion and got that rock. No, I'm not gonna be blamed for a pandemic. Um, but that thing fell in there. And I had been really busy. I didn't know what was going on with the planets or anything
Right.
because I had, but then I remember posting it on one of my old socials I had. And then somebody had said, oh, did you know there was like a solar storm or something like that? Or a meteor shower, I'm sorry, meteor shower.
Yeah.
And some were falling. And I was like, was that like a falling star? Was the meteor? I felt like it literally flew over my head.
Ooh.
And mind you, I'm an Aqua Pisces cusper. So, and this happened sometime in February. We were in Aqua season. So it was like, if this was a falling star, I took it as a big sign, a falling star falling over a star, because Aquarius represents a star.
Right.
I was like, in Aquarius season, I was like, what the hell? Like, that was beyond symbolic to me, but that was one of the craziest things I had ever seen. And the fact that it was just so low to my head, like it was still higher than me, I would have to have really jumped and, you
Right.
know, but it was that low. And it just like blew
So
my mind.
what
And it's not in
happened?
that park. Always in that park.
So what happened when it fell in the water? You said the fish all went to the rims, the ducks came out, the goose came out, whatever.
Yeah.
And did you see it come back, float up? Did it just stay there? Did it burn out? What?
I didn't. I just saw it. It went down, and that was it. Like I tried to approach it, and I didn't see anything. And I was kind of waiting to see if something weird was gonna happen, to be honest. But then I got scared too. I'm like, what if like there's some kind of weird disease, like I told you, and if I get too close, I don't know, a hypochondriac, you know what I'm saying? So, so I did like, I got close, but I didn't get that close. Uh,
Okay.
from a distance.
This is from the woman who sleeps overnight in the most haunted places by herself
Yeah.
in locked jail. Uh,
But look, I'm cool with ghosts. I'm cool with
ah,
like, but I'm scared of viruses, Glenda. That's ever since I saw was that damn movie. What was it? I forgot. Outbreak back in 94, 95.
yeah.
Can I tell you that movie caused me to have like the worst OCD and be a hypochondriac? That traumatized me specifically to be terrified of pandemics. And here we are in the middle of a damn pandemic. It was blood. It was like literally like my worst fear come true. And it happened. So now that that happened, it's like, well, the worst thing I thought happened. So now nothing can. I'm not
There
scared of a
you
damn
go.
thing.
Nothing to hurt you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm scared of viruses, but I'm not scared of ghosts or other things.
But no, it is true, like you were saying. Some everybody experiences galactic beings differently. I You basically been blessed that that's not a bad experience. That
Yeah.
scanning that wasn't a bad experience. Some people have had horrific experiences
Yeah.
and they remember everything.
Yeah.
And then there's people like us that we've been very lucky. Yes, we were terrified for a moment, but they were sending us calming energy. And if we would have just settled down, it would have been okay. And
I wasn't gonna fall down,
I
Glenda.
know,
I'm
I
scared of
know,
tell you.
I know. I'm just saying. But it is true. You could say, no, I don't appreciate that. And they do stop. They
That's
do
not
stop.
what the people who got probes said. No.
Well, I I know somebody who was being um scanned, and he said, "No, thank you. That really hurts," and they stopped it. It wasn't
Yeah.
but it everybody's different and everybody's experience is different because on the galactic being is different. There's so
Hmm.
many different races, just like human races. Same
Yeah.
thing. And but yeah, I've been like I said, I've been very blessed. Knock on wood. And
If you call me tomorrow and be like, Moon Girl, I got probe last night, I don't know what I'm
I'm,
gonna tell you. I don't know
I'm
what I'm
going to smack you. No. No, I've been very lucky, very, very blessed. And even when my kids were young and we were at this bridge that went over a whole river, one of those so you can see the river, and
tell
it's really it's I would say about 500 feet across. So you can, take your time and watch, and all of a sudden there's a couple of spaceships there,
you. Yeah.
and I take pictures, and two, one, two, gone. That's how they disappear. I guess they realized we must been
Hmm.
seeing them, and of course I don't have those because there was the old phones. You
Yeah.
couldn't transfer anything out of them. So whatever you had there, basically gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, my kids and I we did that, and still to this day we talk about it every once in a while. Like, whoa, that was cool. So I wasn't able to transfer any of my pictures. Probably they did. I don't know. And I'm not going to ask them for it, at this point. But
Mhm.
I thought it was really cool that, and the people that were there, nobody was paying attention. Nobody was seeing anything. It was just like you look up, you see them, you see the lights, you see the
Mhm.
three of them just there, and you take like two pictures, and then by the third one, they were gone. And
Yeah.
it's like because it was just holding down the little thing to take the pictures. It's like,
Yeah.
but you sound like you had more fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was lucky that I didn't get hurt
Yeah,
because it could have gone south really fast. Because when you can't move, I mean,
you can't you can't
of
control them,
you're at the mercy of whatever this strong being is.
right?
I mean, they could have done anything,
Yeah,
but they just it just really just feel like a scanning, and then that was it.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Um, Although I feel like if I didn't put up a fight like towards the end when it was getting, they would have like maybe stayed a little bit longer. But they're probably like this stubborn bitch. Like, fine, we're gone. There, okay. Happy
You got
seeing
your
you
wish.
there. There. No probing tonight. Sorry, buddy. But but yeah, I was lucky because it could have been
It could have.
worse.
It could have been.
Yeah.
It could have been. And I feel that a lot, like you said, a lot of these galactic beings were what we call gods
Yeah.
nowadays, especially in Egypt and Greece, where they have
Mhm.
multiple, or even any pagan which has multiple gods.
Mhm.
They had different beings that would come down and help them and all that. Because let's face it, I don't think the mentality of humans um, could come up with the right mathematical
Yeah.
equations for like the pyramids and how to get those big stones up there. And they're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah. And I mean,
Yeah.
throughout different cultures, if there's like caves or whatever, there's like drawings and stuff.
Yeah.
There was no way somebody from Peru can get all the way in Egypt like that. I mean, they
No.
couldn't communicate like we can now. Like, hey, I'm about to draw an alien on the cave. You should draw one too, so we can
Right.
confuse people
Right.
later on.
Wait,
I
let's
mean,
get
there's
on
no
Zoom so we could do the exact same drawing.
pose, like,
Right.
and so, I mean, there has to be something, and to the best of their ability, because,
Right.
these are things that the vocabulary maybe wasn't the way it is now. And
Hmm.
also, these are things they've never seen. So they're going to express them the only way they're able to articulate it
Right.
for their time and what they see.
Exactly.
So, it all makes sense that they've always been here.
Hmm.
And I have a
Hmm.
big thing with the moon. I love the moon. I love the moon. Hell, moon girl.
Hmm.
I don't think the moon is what the people think it is because it's stationary. All the planets move and rotate. The moon does not. It was placed here. I
Hmm.
feel it was placed here. It's not what we think the moon really is. Why do all the planets move but that one? Why? Why do they rotate? Why not the moon? No, the moon was placed there. And the moon holds a lot of secrets in the moon. I really do feel like there's, you know, the
And
other people in there. And I feel like it's a giant satellite. I feel
yeah,
like there's a lot of stuff in the moon, and it's not really the moon. Think about it.
I think
Why doesn't the moon move at all? Why doesn't, it's just stationed there? It's like if somebody just placed it there, okay, sit there and look pretty. And, all these other All
well,
these you do your work, but you, Moon, you can sit there and look pretty. Like, I mean, come on. Just saying.
and how even the oceans rise when there's a full
Yeah.
moon,
And
and
us,
we get
yeah,
woof,
yeah, because it's like 70% of our body is water. So,
right.
people do get a little bit,
Uh-huh.
when it rises, the water is rising. It's messing with our emotions. Water signifies emotions, even in tarot, even
Exactly.
whatever. So it does something
Yes.
to people, you
Hmm.
know. So, yeah, I don't know. The
I
moon
mean,
holds a lot of secrets.
when I was a paralegal, I kept charts of the moon, because whenever there was a full moon, I expected certain clients to come in and yell and scream why their case has not
Mhm.
already been settled. And you could tell them the same story every single month. You want to take this little amount of money? We could settle it right now. No, I don't want that. I want this. Then we got to go to court. It's like
Yeah.
every single time, but you knew. And I was just like, oh, okay, get ready.
Well, let me tell you a story about. I don't know if we're able to talk about
Yeah.
this, but serial killer. Can I talk about that? Okay, so like the serial killer Ed Gein, it's an interesting
Mhm.
story. He was a Virgo, I believe he was a Virgo. Um, so if everyone knows, he had he's what people the inspiration for like Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lamb, Chainsaw Massacre, and
Mhm.
the movie Psycho. You
Right.
know, so they call him a serial killer, but honestly, serial killers there has to be at least three people that they killed.
Right.
You know. So to everyone's knowledge, supposedly it was only two women he killed. And I have a point with this, going to the moon. So just, hold on, guys. I have a point. Um, and then the rest were, people he would find in the obituary who passed. So he would dig him up and, he had the
Right.
house of horrors. He made, an outfit of people's body parts, and he had like a skull that he used as a bow when there was
Right.
clothes and all this other stuff.
Right.
But my point with that is when he finally got caught, they took him to a mental institution. And he was a very quiet man, except for those, incidents when he really like, lost it and it did those horrible crimes. But while he was in the mental institution, even the other people there, the other patients, they would say that he was very quiet, very demure, and he really actually was, again, until he, did those crimes.
Mhm.
Um, but then when there was a full moon out, the other patients would get terrified because they said that he would just go crazy. And it wasn't him purposely looking to see, oh my God, or I know there's a
Right.
calendar, it's going to be a full moon, or like it was just natural
Mhm.
that they said that his eyes would turn black and that he just had this crazed look in his face and he became kind of violent
Mhm.
and they would have to like restrain him or put him somewhere else with the other people, the other patients who are also, had mental problems, who also were like, they did something bad. The instead of going to jail, they put them in the mental institution. So there was,
Criminally
there was
insane.
other people that were, um, who were there that were also had, problems. So they were scared of him.
Yeah.
And it's whenever there was a full moon too. And this was again a subconscious thing because he didn't even know, he wasn't there was no count, there was nothing. And but that's my point with the whole moon and how, your emotions rise and it does
Yeah.
change people's, emotions and feelings and stuff like that.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, even I have friends that are nurses. They brace for every full moon, especially ER nurses
Mhm.
and ER doctors, because that's when all the car accidents occur. That's when people hurt each other, and that's when the fights break out, and that's when, you know, people get hurt more for some reason. It's just, it's very interesting to me how all is so interconnected, and people don't get that.
Mhm.
People think it's just us. That's it. Are you kidding me? You could really think with all this evidence that we have now that so many universes exist and so
Yeah.
many solar systems and so many of this and so many of that, that we're the only ones.
And more evidence to come. 20 next year, even
Uh-huh.
more evidence till the next 20 years.
Right.
You will see. I mean, to me, I mean, to us, we already know there's undisputed evidence of
Right.
aliens, but I feel like they're going to be more freely seen.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Mm-hmm.
I'll, they're coming out more like they're like, look, you people had all these years to kind of come to terms that there's other people here besides you all. So now we don't care. We're going to be just freely flying
They're getting
around.
older and they don't care every public
Yeah, they
opinion.
don't. Like, F it. I'm here, I'm green, and I'm a lean machine. And I
Yeah.
have a probing machine there. Instead of a cane, they're walking with a little probing machine.
Right.
Like,
I have a cane that says Apple too. Hmm.
We need to
But
put a little, we need to glue a little alien on your cane. That'd be
there you
cute.
go. Oh, that's an idea. Huh.
So next time they come around, you're like, look, guys,
Oh.
we're friends. It is Krika.
But seriously, it to me it just amazes me. And yes, okay, there's a constant. I believe there is one energy
Hmm.
that has created or made or whatever you want to call it or brought it to existence
Yeah.
everything. But there's he or she also created or
Hmm.
brought to existence the aliens, the other planets, all the other stars, all the other solar systems. Just can't be the only ones.
Yeah.
And and think about it. Even as within the earth, how from different areas we look differently.
Hmm.
So we're all made into their image, and that's how it states in the Bible. So I believe that there's more than one, and
Hmm.
we're just a representation of the possibility of how they could look.
Well, I feel that Antarctica is a huge, huge key uh, component. I'm sorry. Um, that's why we're not allowed to go over there, and why only scientists, a
Hmm.
select few that the countries come together. We're like, okay, fine, we can do our own research here and there.
Right.
But I feel like that is the key. I feel like there's just so many secrets there, and besides the moon, of course, that we just talked
Right.
about aliens, about other beings. There's just I feel like that is just a whole portal of
Hmm.
different things that we may not even comprehend.
Oh
There's
yeah.
another, there's a there's been talks of a hidden city within Antarctica that's
Hmm.
green. It has no ice. It has nothing. There's
Hmm.
actually buildings. There's what's it called? Grass. There's all this stuff out there. So I think that that's a big. We're never going to be able to go there, and it's. I
No.
just I'm like I want to know. I need answers, Glenda. I
I
I
think I think most people nowadays are wanting answers.
yeah,
They're wanting to be told the truth. You know, you and I, okay, we go into the paranormal, we see all kinds of things, we've experienced all kinds of things. We know there are things that could look very different than us,
yeah,
scary. We know that. So, what does it make any difference? A lot of people think that some of our angels and archangels and all those, you know,
yeah.
sentient beings look all pretty and all that. They don't look so pretty.
No,
They're
a big ol' eye. A big
yeah,
ol' eye in the middle with all these little wings.
yeah.
That's
Sometimes
what it even says. It says, "Child, don't be afraid because I look kind of crazy." For your fingers. I'm like, all right, I'll try. I'll try not to freak out.
yeah, but in reality, they don't look all pretty like, the drawings and all that other stuff. They have to look the way they have to look. If they're going to protect you, they got to look mean and scary and all that. Let's face it, you know.
No, and for
Um,
us, because to them that's the norm. To
right,
us, this is the norm. So,
right, exactly,
again,
exactly. And it's like I could see this little cartoon of a human and an alien going around the corner and they meet each other and they both scream and they both run because the alien is like, oh my god, there was a horrible creature there, and then the human is like, oh my god, it's a horrible creature, it's an alien. That's
well, off topic, I had an experience like that with a duende though.
oh
We And it's a big part of our culture too,
yeah.
Latino culture, talking about duendes.
Mhm.
And I've always believed in, whatever. I had never seen one, but I did a few years back. And like how you described, we both saw each other and we didn't plan to, and we both
Sure.
jumped back out of surprise, like, holy heck. That was just
And
a
see you later.
whole nother. I was just, my mind was blown when I mean, I had never seen it. I
Right,
knew, I believed, I had never seen it. But you know what? Before I had even seen it, nights before, weeks before, it had already been like maybe even a month or so. I would be asleep, but I would feel like a spider web in my face or little
right,
things on me. So I'm thinking, oh my God, there's a spider web in my face. Like I'm scared, but it would
right.
happen a lot. Well, the little sneaky duende was doing God knows what in my face. What the hell he was doing, but there was
Well,
something that felt
trying
like
to
a
wrap you
spray.
up like in a
I,
cocoon.
you're gonna need a lot. Yeah. But anyways, that's another story for another day. But which we will talk about. We should do one about cryptics one day or
Oh, yes.
folklore, whatever. Um, but that's just another experience where the same thing. It's like you take each other by surprise. You're like,
Yeah,
what kind of thing? Okay,
because they're not expecting us
no.
to be there. We're not expecting them to be there. And all of a sudden, it's like we're in the same dimension and we're
Mm-hmm.
actually seeing each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which is
everybody's,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah, everybody's caught by surprise and startled and like, did that just happen? Yeah, it happened. Oh, are you sure it happened? But then you see the proof, like you could see the markings, or you could see that you could see it, or you could, like, I have seen certain things where I've actually seen the slime
Yeah.
afterwards. So the evidence was still there.
Yeah.
But, and I'm like, I did see that.
Uh,
And it's that's the thing. You have to be open because we're not the only ones in all of existence.
well, you could be blinded by it all you want, but that it falls on the person. They want to be blinded. They want to turn their eye to it. That does not mean it doesn't exist. It's not going to
Right.
take away from its existence.
Exactly. Exactly. And when two dimensions happen to meet at the right frequency, everybody's going to see everybody.
Yeah.
So,
That's another
uh,
theory about shadow people. Like some people think, okay, it could be, another dimensional person that kind of crosses with each other. Other people
right.
think it's a spirit. Other people think it's demonic. I mean, there's all these theories. But I do believe that sometimes we just intermingle by
Right.
accident and we kind of
Mhm.
cross each other, you know. Um, so yeah.
We kind of meet at the right frequency. And it's just like, oops, we're both, we got to get back in our own lane.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious. I kind of want to jump in the other lane just to kind of peek around and see what they got going on. Like, is there another me over here? Some kind? Is there an alien me over
Oh, I am
here?
sure there is,
I
Sarah.
would, uh, I would convince her, further her, like help me take over the galaxy. Like we can do this. You and me, like
Take over the world.
yes, like f these people and f those people. We got these, girl. We can do it. Look, I already know. I could just imagine my other me. Woo, girl, and then she has powers. Oh, I'm a fan. No, where are you, Moon Girl? Somewhere, other Moon Girl. I don't know.
Don't call me and tell me tomorrow morning. I saw her. I can't believe I saw her. No.
Glenda, and I convinced her to take over the world. Oh,
There you
girl.
go.
Heck yeah. There's going to be like Moon Girl statues all over. Like,
Well, I want to say thank you to everyone. And we are very blessed that you follow us and you email us and all that. And we love you.
yeah.
Till
I
next
want
time.
to add something to that if I can. If
Sure.
anybody out there has had any type of experiences like this, or, they felt like they were abducted, or
Yeah.
alien experiences, or sightings, or abductions, drop us a line, email
Yeah.
us. We'd love to hear them.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. And or if you have an experience like mine, or am I the only crazy one? I mean, there's more other crazies out there. So I want to connect with my crazy people tribe, my soul tribe. So let us know. Let us know if you got probed, please. I'm dying to know who got probed. did they take you out for dinner first, or
Oh my
was it a
God.
happy hour? It was just lovers in the night. Like, I
Lucky
need to
you.
know.